Today on the NFPA LiNK YouTube channel, I'm going to be talking about emergency lighting. So we're going to start off in NFPA 101, which is the life safety code. In order to get to our section, I'm going to search testing emergency lighting. We see section 793 covers periodic testing of emergency lighting. So we see here that we have 4 different options that are offered in these sections. Basically, they're all different ways in which we accomplish the testing required in this section right here. Testing here is all covering battery operated emergency lighting. So we need to do a monthly functional test to make sure that that battery is going to be able to support that light in that emergency lighting for 30 seconds. And then yearly, we need to be operating that emergency light for an hour and a half, and that's our required time duration for emergency lighting. So we want to make sure that that battery is going to be able to support that hour and a half of operation. And then, as with all inspection and testing that we're doing, we need to make sure that we have written records of all the inspections and tests that we're doing, and we're keeping them and we're providing them to the authority having jurisdiction. Now, that's the main requirement. The next 2 options are basically ways in which we can accomplish that testing. The first one is going to be using emergency lighting that has a self-testing or self-diagnostic feature in which it performs those same tests just by itself. So we're going to be doing that monthly test and we're going to be doing that yearly test, but on its own self-test. Now, the next allowance here is 79313, which is just using a computer-based model or computer-based system to be able to do that testing, similar to what we have in that section above. And finally, 79314 is providing us one additional allowance, and that is testing in accordance with 7924. Basically, what 7924 is saying, if we have emergency generators, related transfer switch equipment, and those emergency systems, they need to be tested in accordance with NFPA 110 and NFPA 111. And those are the standards for the emergency power supplies as well as the emergency power system. So for example, if we're providing our emergency lighting system with power via a generator, we need to be doing a weekly inspection, a monthly run test, and then a 3-year full load test. So that's what that testing would look like if we were using a generator as opposed to using battery operated emergency lighting systems. I hope that was a good introduction to emergency lighting testing. And these systems are critical components of life safety, so we need to ensure that they're working properly. Now, there's many other systems and components that we need to be testing and making sure that we're designing properly. And you can use NFPA LiNK in order to give you the knowledge that you need to get your job done right. So I highly recommend going to nfpa.org/link to learn more about NFPA LiNK.